be talking about SMEs as triggers for economic growth. But you see, I want to dwell more, because of the demography I find inside of this place, I want to dwell more on the second aspect of the title of my talk. Yes, it's titled SMEs, Trigger for Economic Growth, but the subtitle is Activating the Trigger. So we've had so much talk about SMEs and how they are very important to the economy, how we need them to grow so that it will translate to economic growth. And in just 18 minutes, if I have to dwell on that macro aspect of this talk, I don't think that it will benefit the young people in here, entrepreneurs and wantrepreneurs. Wantrepreneurs, those who want to be entrepreneurs. So I'm going to rely more on activating the trigger. If you can't do great things, please do small things in a great way. That's according to Napoleon Hill. So I have a lot of infographics, but I don't want to go too academic so we can be able to communicate. And so I'll just touch a little bit of notes I've made. 20% of small businesses fail in their first year. Now it's trite, and it's a global truth. Now this is according to American statistics. So if you come back home, figure it out yourself. 30% of small business fail in their second year. 50% of small businesses fail after 5 years in business. And 70% of small businesses fail in their 10th year in business. Why do these businesses fail? If you want to talk about what SMEs are, I want to assume that almost everyone here knows it, but we should probably touch a bit of what SMEs truly mean. There is hardly any globally accepted definition as per SMEs and what they actually are. But a lot of times we use statistics, we use numbers to define what SMEs should be. And then legislations, according to the sizes of economies of nations, that's how we define how SMEs, small and medium-scale enterprises, should be classified or defined. Sometimes we add micro, small, micro, and medium-sized businesses. Now, according to the OECD, non-subsidiary independent firms which employ fewer than a given number of persons is what you want to define as SMEs. The same OECD, using numbers, say that firms employing up to 249 persons, that's micro 1 to 9, micro scale, 10 to 49, small scale, 50 to 249, medium scale. Now, the third development plan of Nigeria, which was supposed to cater for development planning between 1975 and 1980, defines SMEs as a manufacturing or service organization whose employees are not more than 10. The CBN recently defines SMEs as businesses with turnover of less than 100 million per annum and or less than 300 employees. So that gives us a picture of what SMEs are or what they should be. Okay, so I have some basic facts here about SMEs, just to show us the importance of SMEs in every economy and how strategic they are to the growth of every nation or every nation's economy. Studies by the IFC show that approximately 96% of Nigerian businesses are SMEs, compared to 53% in the US and 65% in Europe. SMEs represent about 90% of the manufacturing industrial sector in terms of number of enterprises. They contribute 1% of GDP compared to 40% in Asian countries and 50% in US or Europe. Now, SMEs, trigger for economic growth. SMEs generate employment 70% on the average in OECD countries, 45% in emerging economies. SMEs contribute massively to the GDP of countries, more than 33% in emerging economies like ours, 40% in Asian countries, and 50% in US and Europe. So those are the basics. They are an effective tool for social enterprise. I'm going to get deep into the crux of the issue now. Now I'm trying to give you a picture why SMEs are very relevant to the economy and why they're very important and why we should put more focus on SMEs. They play a major role in eco-technology. When my artist brother was talking here, he talked about clean tech, environmentally friendly business and all of that. More of SMEs focus on clean tech and environmentally friendly businesses, okay? So they create platforms for economic and social participation and upward mobility, especially for the structurally disadvantaged. What am I saying here? What I'm saying is that a lot of the people who are venturing into businesses play within the space of SMEs because maybe they're not so big to play in the big league. So where they find themselves are SMEs. So you see that more businesses operate in SMEs than the big scale or large scale businesses, if you want to call it that. Now, that is just for you to show you, that's for me to show you how important SMEs are, but that's not my problem today. We have spoken too much about how the environment should be made convenient, comfortable for SMEs to thrive. We have said a lot about what government should do for SMEs to work, to succeed, to thrive. We've said a lot about what the economy should be like so that little businesses will be able to find a place and be successful. And we've said a lot about how SMEs should contribute to economic growth. Now, let's come to the lower level, and let's come from the reverse flank. How do we grow these businesses? So assuming government has failed, assuming the environment is hostile, assuming everything that was supposed to be done by government has not been done, and then you find yourself in that little frustrating space, but you still must strive. Do you close shop and go back home and say, oh, government has failed me, and so I won't do business anymore? True or false? If that is not the situation, I want to teach you today how to fail as an SME. Yeah, you heard me right. How to fail. That is, if you want to fail. If you want to fail as an SME, I want to assume that a lot of us here have small businesses or intend to have small businesses. If you want to fail, please take this very seriously and listen to me so you can fail very well. Don't laugh. First, if you want to fail, don't ideate. What do I mean to ideate? To think, to innovate, to dwell in thinking. If you want to go into business, the first thing that you do is to ideate, to think. Here I call it think create. Every creation is born out of thinking. There is no business that has been created on the surface of this earth that was not born through thinking. If you want to go into a business, if you want to innovate, the first thing that you do is what? You think. When you think, then you create. So thinking begets creating. Let me talk like the Bible people. So if you want to fail, please do not ideate. Do not think, don't create. Now when Pastor Ibiome was talking, at some point it looked like we had shared notes. Ideas, if you look at my second note here, ideas should be problem solving. My investigation, my research, my study has shown me that the businesses that are most sustainable on the surface of the earth are those that were actually first created to solve problems. If you want to go into an SME, if you want to go into business, you want to be sustainable, you want to thrive, your idea should be geared towards solving a particular problem, because it is in solving that problem that you find sustainability. If you find a business, or you do a business just for the sole aim of making money, I tell you, when the business gets to a point, you'll be bored. Facebook was created to solve a communication problem. Apple was created, their products were created to solve problems. And at some point, they grew to a level that became so admirable. So, problem-solving ideas make more sustainable businesses. Now, pursue passion. Invest in the direction of your passion. I tell people, before you venture into any kind of business, small, medium scale, micro scale, large scale, you must pursue passion. And so there's always this conflict. Okay, what if I'm not passionate about this thing? And I tell people, passion can be innate or acquired. Innate passion is that which you're born with. Acquired passion is that which you grow into, maybe because of doing it over and over again, or because of associating with people who do these things. So passion can be innate or acquired. Now, the danger in doing a business that you're not passionate about is that at some point you become bored. At the point of your business, where the ebb of profit is low, you get frustrated out of business. So I'll give you a simple instance. Assuming you're a fashion designer, and then you open a fashion store because someone opens it, and then Ada opens her own because she's passionate about it. Christmas comes and sales are high. You're happy. Christmas goes and sales are low. While you're brooding over your losses, Ada is busy creating new designs. So by the time the next season comes, when Ada is sampling her designs, before you wake up, you see that there's nothing to offer to your customers anymore. So it's important to invest in the direction of your passion, because when profit is low, it's passion that sustains you in business. We're running out of time. I'll be very fast now. Build skills, then build on skills. What I meant was, I've noticed this skill literacy gap. I say it all the time, that we have too many certificates in the hands of too many people without skills. It is skills that will help you to create an SME. It's skills that will help you to build a business and thrive. So when I say build skills and build on skills, I mean that your SME should be a product of your skill, and while in the business, you should keep growing skills, keep building capacity. There's no limit to what skill that you can acquire. It helps you thrive in business. It helps you to expand. So we're still talking about how to help you fail in business. Now, this is the part I love the most. And that's the part that's a bit disruptive about what I'm talking to you about. A lot of times, when we start our businesses, we want to have it perfect. But I'll tell you something today, ladies and gentlemen. There is no product that is ever 100% perfect. That's why we have customer reviews and customer feedback. That's why I talk about the feedback loop that helps you to develop a product to suit purposes. No matter how good or creative you are, if you put your product in the market for 5 years without upgrading, at some point you go extinct, you go out of fashion. And so why do you bother about completing your product perfectly before you push it out? Eric Rice, in his Lean Startup series, tells you that no, your product must not be perfectly finished before you put it in the market. So what happens when you put an imperfect product into the market is that customers or clients review your products, and then based on their review, you improve. So you keep improving. So I tell you, rather than spending 10 years building a product to be perfect, take 1 year to push out an imperfect product. Take the next 10 years to keep evolving and perfecting your product. And then I tell you, you'll be bored and your business will be sustained. Now, another way to fail is do not focus on customer development and management. Many customers will not complain, but guess what? They won't come back. So whenever you have the opportunity to listen to a customer that complains, be happy and take it very seriously. Because the customer complains because he wants you to be better so he can come back. You must value your customers. And a lot of entrepreneurs take this for granted. We focus so much on developing a product that we forget that entrepreneurship is management. We forget that having made the product, we must distribute, we must sell, we must manage customers. So please, if you want to succeed as an SME, you must focus on customer development and management. Evolve exceptional customer service mechanisms. Frontline ownership, strong team spirit, common vision. If you're going to employ, please employ people who have the spirit of frontline ownership. Employ that young lady, that young boy who will be in your business and see it as his own, who shares your vision. You must sell your vision and make it an organizational culture. Entrepreneurship is management. I stutter, so forgive me. Entrepreneurship is management. Grow not only products, but also management skills. I had said that before, so I'm just going to skip this. Now, please, in activating the trigger, think global. We think local too much. Do not produce for just people in your environment. Leverage on globalization. Eliminate boundaries. Sell to the world. Produce for the world. Make your products to a standard where people in America, in Europe, in Asia can buy from you. Challenge yourself to have industry best practices. Produce your Ankara in a way that somebody in America can wear it. Don't think for just Rivers and for Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, perfection is not attainable. But if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence. That's according to Vince Lombardi. Now, I'll give you 5 key ways to revolutionize your SMEs. I'm being too fast, so forgive me. Be client-centric. We have spoken about it before. Know your clients, know how to manage them very well. I have just 3 minutes, something round up. Create a talent pool. Get like minds. Invest in people. Invest in human capacity development. Your business is as good as your team. Innovation and initiative. Ideate, I said it. Harness employee creativity. Teach your employees, learn from them too. It's called intellectual humility. Stay with trends, evolve, build capacity. Listen. Please, forgive me. I want all of you to be on your feet for 1 second. Rise up. Forgive me, if you can't, you can sit. Place your hands on your chin. Fantastic. I said, place your hands on your chin. All of you place your hand on your forehead. You must learn to listen to your environment, listen to your customers, listen to yourself. I said, place your hands on your chin. But because I put my hands on my forehead, please sit down. You put your hands on your forehead. The biggest problem that business owners have faced today, one of them, is their inability to listen. So whenever you have the opportunity to listen to your customers, listen to reviews, listen to your team, listen to your staff, please take it seriously and listen. Because in doing that, you become a better business. So, ladies and gentlemen, your SME can be transformed into a global brand. Nobody says that your small business must die a small business. I gave you a gloomy statistics about businesses that are dying. 20% of this, 30% of this, 40% of this. But I tell you, what about the 80% that are succeeding? What about the 70% that are succeeding? How about the 60% that are succeeding? If you invest your whole person, your entire being into your business, into evolving new ways to make great products, you will thrive. And your SME can become a global brand. I like this quote a lot from Martin Luther King Jr. People who know me always associate this quote with me. That when a man is called to be a street sweeper, let him sweep streets so well, such that the hosts of heaven will pause to say, "There live the man who swept streets so well." Abraham Lincoln would tell you that whatever you are, be a good one. And I tell people, please, even if you're a thief, be a good one until you're caught. And then the Bible in Colossians 3:23 tells you that whatever you do it well as unto God, not as unto man. Ladies and gentlemen, as you grow your SMEs, I pray to God that you're doing great. Thank you very much.